Simplistically put, my issue, therefore, lies of this, like the kind of issue I have with it, simplistically, is in and of itself. I'm using Smash Bros. As an example, but because that's the one I know the best from experience, because that's the game I play the most. So let's go here. Why is it like considered? People say, "Oh yeah, there's a competitive scene," and my argument for that is, why bother with it? And you're gonna say, because it is going to grant you, I guess, some sort of public spotlight in the community, I guess, right? Let's put it that way. Let's say it that way. My question is, how long will it last, right? Because you have to think each game's lifespan's 4 years around. Not exactly, because there's different games that have different lifespans, but generally speaking, why should you put all this effort into, kind of developing your character, developing your skills in that character, and watching the meta, as they call it, grow, when the few years later, they'll just be like, you know what, here's a new game. And then all that work you put into, I don't know, let's say Smash 4 or Brawl is gone. Because now you're like, okay, I have to move on to this different installment. But all my experiences I had with this character are now done. All my kind of work I put in is done. And I've seen the argument that some of the experience you hold goes through, right? Because, you have some basic knowledge of certain things. So tell me this. Characters like Pit and Gandalf, who drastically changed through the different installments, be it through the entire moveset, like, example, Gandalf in Melee had a different side B, Gandalf in Melee didn't have sword attacks. So if you're going to tell me that your experience holds true to each different game, that's completely false. Just because the movesets change, the engine itself changes throughout the different games. And my simple argument with this is, why bother putting all this effort into the competitive scene, right? When at the end of the day, the competitive scene is not going to last that long, because and I just don't get the purpose of putting all your time into, time and effort into that one scene, where we all know it's exponentially going to end at one point. Let's be real here. Smash 4's lifespan is as long as Smash 4's lifespan is going to last. Like, the second the new system is out with the new Smash Bros. Game, that's when the old Smash Bros. Meta is dead. Like, for example, there could have been counterplay to Meta Knight. There could have been some meta established to counter him. And there was becoming that. There was counterplay becoming established. But Smash 4 came out, so they're like, oh man, gotta just dump all that development we put into that game. All that kind of work we did. Because, you know what? We're bandwagoners. And at the end of the day, this is what this kind of gaming competitive scene is. It's bandwagoning. You say, I'm a pro at this game, but then, new game rolls around, you're a fucking nobody. So what's the purpose of all this effort when at the end of the day, you're just becoming a nobody when the next game rolls around? And you could say, yeah, I put effort into it, now I'm good, but you're not the top anymore, right? And you'll see there's a few select people who are always at the top of these tournaments. And that's SmashCon. If you watched the SmashCon tournament, you'll see there's a lot of differences between the different characters. And this is where my issue lies. If your experiences holds true to each different game, why is it that the characters that you're playing has changed so drastically? And you'll see they'll try to do combos and things that the newer games have, and it won't work. So how can that even be true when newer combos and newer things don't work in the older games? So the applicability of your experiences is completely invalidated just because of the kind of the game state for each different character changing with the engine and the series moving on. And this is just a fundamental issue I have with the, I guess, competitive scene and the competitive gaming market as is. It's bandwagoning, but you're going to say, oh yeah, there's Melee. Melee's is the one example. There's definitely, you're going to say, oh yeah, there's people who play Brawl. Like 50 people? I mean, yeah, there's definitely a market for each of these games. There's definitely people who still play them on that level, but at the end of the day, the way we're looking at it is, it's this game's done, next game. This game's done, next game. I don't have an issue with that. I'm just saying it doesn't work for a competitive sport. or a competitive scene. It doesn't work. That type of mentality doesn't work for a competitive scene. Or a competitive game, that is. Or a competitive anything, really. Like, think about it this way. Name any sport or kind of traditionally accepted competitive game. Look at chess. Is chess all of a sudden going to have Chess Edition 5, where it's entirely different from Edition 2, where all the strategies you had in chess up to that point are deleted? Let's say you kind of had a strategy which you did with your king, right? You kind of had a traditional strategy you did with your king where you would put it up front and you would have your pawn supporting it, right? Let's say there's a new edition that entirely devalues that. Then why would you play it? It's not the same chess game anymore, right? And that's kind of the issue I have with competitive gaming, right? Because you're playing competitively, yeah, but you're not really having the traditional kind of competitive experience that comes with these years and years of experiences you get with these games or these sports. And it's not even just coming from a physical basis, right? Because I'm not saying, let's take out the entire equation that sports have to be physical. There's still the fact of, yeah, it has to be, you have to get trained in it, you have to be competitively good at it. And with these type of games, they're just bandwagons. This is done, you got pretty good at that, now you have to start from scratch. You don't do that with chess or darts or even race cars or even soccer. You hold your experiences your entire time you're in the game. And this is just kind of my tangent on competitive gaming. If you don't like it or find it distasteful, please feel free to leave a comment on why. I'll try to debunk or give criticisms to it. Have a best day you can have, I guess, and later. This is Bob74H signing off.